This is Jerry Hobby with Anything Internet. What's the most important thing on your website? I know a lot of people think the graphical design. If a website doesn't look professional, then people aren't going to take it seriously. And that's absolutely true. But let's assume that you have a professional looking website. What's going to make the difference between whether somebody buys your product or your idea or your services or not? It's about getting them involved and connected and attached to your product. And there's a number of ways to do that. Of course, testimonials and some other facts and figures and charts help build credibility. And credibility is very important. But the real thing, the real reason people buy is for emotional reasons. They buy because they're connected to you and your values. They know you, they care about you, they're interested in working with you. That's one thing. But that's if they know you or they can get an impression of your character and values from your website. So that is part of it. But the other part of it's really just about the copy on the product. Whether you have a product or whether you have a service, how you put things on your website makes a difference to how people interpret it. If you put a lot of instructional and educational material, it's going to sound hard and they may not want to take on that much extra work. If you talk about how qualified and skillful and that you're the best, it might start sounding expensive or too complicated for their needs. But if you talk about how their life is better because they've had your help, then they start to get attached to, I would like to have a better life. And examples of that are when you look at products, a lot of big name products out there, and it doesn't matter which ones you look at, they describe things in some sort of an emotional result. And an example I have is I recently bought a new web camera, and that's the one you're looking at my video on right now. On this web camera, the box starts talking about taking pictures of your baby and sharing videos with your family and recording parties. They're not the specs are there. They're all there, all the details, how many megapixels and all that's on there. But most of the content on there is for people that don't care about the specs, but that people that just want to know, should I have a webcam or not? And it's important to set that because people will look at something like a webcam and say, I don't want people looking at me. I don't want people, can people peek into my house or whatever it is they have going on, their self-doubts, their self-talk. And then they pick it up and it says, share pictures of your baby with your family. And they're like, well, I want to do that. And, now they're in love with it and they can't wait to go home and send pictures of their baby or whatever it is. And they get it. They get why to do it. So to transform people from why not to why, you don't want to make it sound like work or sound hard to understand or sound technical. You want to make your services sound like life could never be easier if you hire us. But if you don't, there's something else will happen. People always choose what's easiest. Is it easier? Is life easier with your product or is life easier without it? And that's going to be part of how they decide because they got dreams they want to fulfill. They got, problems they got to solve. So when you say, this is easier, do business with us. We're bookkeepers. You never have to worry about accounting again. You never have to worry about paying bills. You never have to log into QuickBooks. You never have to bill your customers. It's so easy. You could never have done business without it or whatever. These are the kinds of things. You don't talk about, we have the best software and the best steps and the most trained staff. That's complicated. So simplify it, get emotional, and tell people how much easier and better their life is by writing copy that sells the emotions of their dreams coming true, and you'll make many more sales. And that's something we help with, okay? At Anything Internet, our job is to help take that work away from you. So if you imagine your website and your products having copy, having text on there that actually makes the product sell itself, that makes the customers want it, that makes them smile for buying it, we'll make your customers smile for doing business with you. I'm Jerry Hobby. This is Anything Internet. 1-800-686-5986, anythinginternet.com.